Hello and welcome back to Stanley Rants. We got a good one for you here today. It's about your data and it's been breached. So this is coming to you from Tom's Guide, and it starts out 2.9 billion hit in one of the largest data breaches ever. Full names, addresses, and social security numbers exposed. That's nice, huh? Stolen data was then put on the dark web for sale. Gotta love this dark web thing, huh? How does this even exist? Goes on to say, regardless of how careful you are online, your personal data can still end up in the hands of hackers. And a new data breach exposed 2.9 billion people is the perfect example of this. As reported by Bloomberg, news of this massive new data breach was revealed as part of the class action lawsuit that was being filed at the beginning of this month. A complaint submitted to the U.S. District Court for the Southern District Court of Florida claims the exposed personal data belongs to a public records data provider named National Public Data, which specializes in background checks and fraud prevention. That's nice. The personal data of 2.9 billion people, which includes full names, former and complete addresses going back 30 years, social security numbers, and more, was stolen from a national public data by a cyber criminal group that goes by the name USDOD. The complaint goes on to explain that the hackers then tried to sell the huge collection of personal data on the dark web to the tune of $3.5 million. It's worth noting that due to the sheer number of people affected, this data likely comes from both the US and other countries worldwide. They just got everybody going, don't they? Here's everything we need to know about the massive data breach so far, about your information being exposed online. So how does a firm like National Public Data obtain personal data of almost 3 billion people? The answer is through scraping, which is a technique used by companies to collect data from websites and other sources online. What makes the way Public Data did this more concerning is that the firm scraped personal identifiable information of billions of people from non-public sources. As a result, many of these people who are now involved in the class action lawsuit did not provide their data willingly to the company. According to the complaint, one of the plaintiffs, who resides in California, go figure, first found out the breach because he was on one of the best identity theft protection services out there, which notified him his data was exposed and leaked on the dark web. As part of this class action lawsuit, the plaintiff is asking the court to have National Public Data securely dispose of all the personal information it's acquired through scraping. However, he also wants the firm to compensate him and other victims financially while implementing stricter securities measures going forward. With full names, addresses, and social security numbers in hand, there's a lot of hackers can do a lot of things with this information, especially if it was made available on the dark web. While we haven't heard anything yet from the National Public Data, the company will likely have to put out data breach notifications soon, given the mess that scraping non-public sources for data has gotten itself into. These data breach notifications will likely arrive in the mail, so you're going to want to keep your eye on your mail and your mailbox. So they're ripping that stuff off anyway too, ain't they? Normally, after a breach of this size, the company responsible will offer access to either identity theft protection or credit monitoring for up to 2 years. In the meantime, though, you're going to want to have to check and be careful when you're checking your inbox, even if your messages, and hackers often use this type of data to launch targeted phishing attacks. At the same time, you're going to want to carefully monitor your banking accounts and other financial accounts for signs of fraud or suspicious activity. Since this is almost as big a data breach as the one that Yahoo suffered back in 2013, which saw data on 3 billion people exposed online, this likely isn't the last we'll be hearing about it. Tom's Guide has reached out to National Public Data for more information on the matter, and we'll be updating you on this when we get back to them from this and that. Can you believe this kind of shit? You know, it's bad enough you get to pay for a protection on your computer, and that's how this guy found out about it. But these hackers, they can hack into anything. They hack into the White House, the CIA, the FBI. They hack into everything. So what makes you think you're going to be so safe out there? It's crazy, man. The amount of theft that's going on in this world it's uncanny right now. And the dark web, they know about the dark web, so they just keep that thing rolling. How come that thing's not shut down? I don't understand. You can't say fuck on on TV, but you got the dark web out there. Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense. So as the theft continues, that's what's driving a bunch of these retail businesses out of business. And there's over 340 of them that have filed for bankruptcy, Chapter 11, in 2024 alone. That includes some restaurants too, but it's mainly the theft of your big time retailers. Kohl's, you got Petco, the 99-cent stores. Man, just there's 340 of them that are just calling it quits, filed for Chapter 11, and they're going to try to restructure. Well, they're not going to restructure anything unless they get the theft under control. If they start cutting these bastards' fingers off, that's what they need to do. No, that's not going to happen. So they're ruining businesses. People don't want to go out and spend money. They don't want to go to a brick and mortar anymore to spend money. That's why a lot of these shops are shutting down. And it's the theft. I heard a detective, it was 2 days ago, and he says, they catch these guys and they just release them, especially out here in California, and their hands are tied. So it just become commonplace now for these guys to do what they're doing every day. In a neighborhood or in a town like Encino. Encino is hit every single day over there. You hear it on the news. Somebody's gotten their house robbed while people in the house, and there's nothing they can seem to do about it. But if they made the punishment more fierce, these guys would stop what they're doing. The catalytic converter stealers, the mom and pop shop stealers, any of them. You just start cutting their fingers off, and maybe they'd fucking stop this shit. They're ruining our society. The Democrats, I'm not Mr. Red or Mr. Blue, but if it quacks like a duck, smells like a duck, and walks like a duck, it's a duck. The Democrats and the way they want to run this society is insane. It's insane. It really is. They don't want to do anything to put these guys away, and then they'll sit there and bitch about their houses got broken into or whatnot. So make the criminals pay for their crimes. Don't just slap them on the wrist out here in California. They have no bail. They get out the next morning and they go do it again. For whatever reason they have to steal. They can't get a job. They got a dope habit, or they just like stealing stuff. So we gotta vote other people in that are going to make new laws to make these guys go away. Because if you don't have a safe society, what kind of society do you have? And it just gets so frustrating to watch this day after day. And of course, if you've been a victim and you try to go get some kind of justice out of it, the Justice Department just turns the other cheek, and they don't give a shit, man. As long as you pay your taxes. Well, go ahead and get a parking ticket, get a speeding ticket, and not pay that, and you'll see how fast they come after you. that kind of stuff. So it's just getting crazier and crazier out here with your information, with your safety, and we need to vote other people in that are going to take care of this kind of stuff. You're watching that clown show right now with Campbell Toe Harris and her new running mate, whatever his name is, I don't even know. And you're going to want 4 more years of what they just gave you. You're going to want 4 more years of what they just gave you. That's how dumb they think the American people are. And all those people who are on the left and want to vote for these people, maybe they should move to Alaska or something. Maybe they should all move to Alaska and have their democratic ways up there in Alaska or whatever. Or move them out to a floating barge in the middle of the sea and let them have that. Because they don't do our society any good. These left-wing nutcases that don't see that you need laws and you need borders to have a good society. You know, good fences make great neighbors, and that's an old saying from way back. But other than that, I hope you're doing well out there. If you want to get a hold of me, I'm at stanleyrants@outlook.com. And you got to keep your head on a swivel out here, and be happy out there. Try to be happy the best you can for what the situation is out there. So get ready for it. Vote for other people to stop this kind of shit that's going on in our society, and we'll all be better off for it. All right. If you knew better, you do better. I'm out.